I want to go ahead and I want to start with this, chat. More Joker Folie of Duty news. As you guys know, or may not know, I saw Joker Folie of Duty. God, it feels like forever ago. I guess it was 2 weeks ago as of this recording. And I thought the movie was terrible. And it turns out a lot of other people thought the same. It's, just through and through, it's a nonsensical sequel. It negates so much of the original movie. Many of the musical elements, all of the musical elements serve no purpose to the film itself. They don't inform the story. And outside of Joaquin Phoenix, which he's doing a good job despite him basically just repeating what he did in the first film, like literally back at square one with Arthur Fleck and then him barely being the Joker. Everyone else, for the most part, is pretty much wasting the movie, including Lady Gaga. Just a slog, a pretentious mess of a film. And a lot of people have felt the same way about the movie. It's both audiences and critics, I would say, are on the same page with this film. It's just a movie that felt like it was made to spurn the people that loved the original film. Whether you loved it or hated it or, I just liked the film. I had my issues with the original movie, but it's just crazy that that Todd Phillips followed up with a movie that was the antithesis of the first film. Truly bizarre. Well, again, that's looking like it was a costly mistake for, certainly Todd Phillips, but also for Warner Brothers. I'm reading this via Variety. Joker Folie of Duty, as I like to call it, to lose $150 million to $200 million in theatrical run after bombing at the box. This is like one of the most catastrophic bombs in quite some time. And I'll read a little bit of this, and I'll continue to share my opinion. Joker Folie of Duty was primed to be another twisted comic book smash. Instead, the sequel to 2019's billion-dollar hit Joker is a box office disaster. So far, the offbeat musical about Batman's notorious foe has grossed $51.5 million domestically and $165 million globally after 2 weeks of release. By comparison, the first Joker had generated $96.2 million domestically and $248.4 million globally after 3 days of release. The sequel won't earn anywhere near that much by the end of its theatrical run, with ticket sales projected to stall at a lifetime gross of $65 million domestically and $210 million to $252 million globally when Folie of Duty leaves the big screen. That's a huge problem because Joker 2 cost $200 million to produce and roughly $100 million to market and distribute. At this rate, the film won't get anywhere near to the $450 million needed to break even in its theatrical run. Sources at Warner Brothers say the movie will break even at $375 million. Yeah, sure. After critics' noises flat out rejected the big budget tentpole, which received a 33% rotten average on Rotten Tomatoes and a rare D grade on CinemaScore. It's shaping up to be one of the year's biggest catastrophes. It's now poised to lose at least $150 million to $200 million in its theatrical run, according to the estimates of Insiders as well as the rival executives with knowledge of similar productions. One source speculates the film will end up losing its backers just north of $200 million, while others believe the damage may be close to $125 million. It's going to lose a lot of money. And the estimates just by anonymous insiders or rival executives are grossly wrong. Continue a trend where rumors spur as fact. Warner Brothers spokesman said in a statement, of course, they have to say this. Film continues to play a theatrical release, including with this weekend's opening in China, and will continue to earn revenue throughout its home viewing and ancillary runs. Yeah, they're trying to cover their asses, trying to make it seem like, no, it's doing great, but obviously it's not. I mean, as I said before, chat, it just feels as if this movie was certainly made just because the previous film was such a surprise hit. Being one of the highest-grossing R-rated films of all time. For a little while, was the highest-grossing R-rated film of all time until Deadpool and Wolverine, but still, huge success commercially. No matter how you may feel about the film, it also earned a lot of accolades, a lot of, nominations. I mean, it won Joaquin Phoenix, Best Actor, won, I think, Best Score back in 2019. Did very well for itself. And you had a lot of people that really enjoyed the movie. And for whatever reason, Todd Phillips is like, yeah, I don't care what those people think. And made something that is the complete opposite of what seemingly everyone wanted. and he made this. Even when it was first announced, we all went, huh? Like, when it was first announced that they were going to make this a musical, everyone asked, I asked, you guys asked, why? Why? And after seeing the film, you guys, myself, and everyone else asked, why? Why did you make this a musical? Because the musical elements don't serve any particular purpose. But even outside the musical, it's just not a good story. It's a very muddled story, muddled themes, wasted. Every actor, maybe aside from Joaquin Phoenix, is wasted throughout the film. He has a couple of good moments in the movie, but they're few and far between. It's just, it's a disaster. It's a catastrophe, as everyone has been saying. And, Warner Brothers, they have to put out, a press release and statement saying, no, it's doing fine. People are, grossly misjudging the film, yada, 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 yada. But, it is what it is, Chet, which is a failure, And the thing is, out of all of this, because, we're despite this, we're getting some really great DC content right now. Like the Penguin has been absolutely fantastic. I've just recently watched episode 4. I thought it was great. Previous 3 episodes were wonderful as well. Can't wait for the next one. It's like one of my favorite TV shows going on right now. I highly recommend it. If you're a huge fan of the Batman, even if you just like the Batman, I would recommend the Penguin. It's a really good show. It's just a good mob story, right? A lot of elements of The Sopranos and Breaking Bad. And I'm looking forward to what, James Gunn and Peter Safran are going to do. I'm looking forward to what Matt Reeves is going to continue to do with his kind of like side Batman, crime universe. Obviously the Batman Part 2, But the one thing that I don't want Warner Bros. To stop doing is these more standalone DC films. Because I think they're a good idea. Did not work out with Joker Folie do for the various reasons that I just said. But clearly it worked with the original film. And I would love it if they took more characters, and said like, hey, we're going to give this to a filmmaker. We're going to give this a relatively lower budget. Don't have your one-off movie be a $200 million film. Like, do what you did with the last Joker film, where it was, between 50 and 70 million. Do that. That's your vision. Standalone. It's not connected to anything, and go. Like, I want Warner Brothers and DC to do that, in the future. And the same with I wish they would do it with Marvel and Disney, because I think that's exciting. And you don't, as the audience, you don't have to have had seen these several films, this TV series to know what the hell is going on. So I still think it's a good idea. It just didn't obviously work here at all for our reasons that I said. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on this right now? I mean, are you surprised? Not surprised? Do you still want them to continue to make these more standalone types of DC movies? I personally do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're just like, you know what? It worked once. Let's see the rest of this stuff, plays out, before we start doing more of those types of films. But let me know. What about you, Chad? How do you feel about this? Again, it's just absolutely fascinating to cover. It's just one of the most. I mean, there's some like infamous sequels, like there's no doubt, throughout film history that like come to mind where it's such a failure critically and commercially. Like I think the one that constantly has been coming to my mind is like Highlander 2: The Quickening, or the hell it was called, like that one. But this one I just feel like is on a whole other level. It's just despised across the board by everybody. You can tell by the box office receipts. Let me see what you guys are saying. What about reading Joker 2 flopping could cost to be more than double what they saved scrap back? Yeah, I just read that. I read the same article. I think it was on Deadline. Oh, yeah, multiple publications are covering this. I just picked the one that was from Variety. And the Batgirl director's got the Last of Bad Boys 4 being one of the biggest hits. That's the other thing. You make a good point, Mr. Harris. It's like those guys, like those filmmakers seem to be doing pretty well for themselves. And, because they also previously directed Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life, right? Which I think is the best Bad Boys movie. I like Bad Boys 4. I don't think it was as good as the third one, but I still liked it. I enjoyed it. They're laughing all the way to the bank. Because people, for the most part, I think have really enjoyed these sequels, and I think they've worked on some other stuff too. So yeah, I think that was huge. I think they just wrote it off because they're like, listen, we got to save some. It was cost cutting. We got to save some money. We got to get a tax credit. We got to push these big movies, which we know will earn us, the money. Flash and Joker and Aquaman. And that didn't happen. So yeah, it's Aegon, more Aegon. David Zumbafoo's face. Also, I've heard that James Gunn has been telling people close to him that he told them that was going to be a flop when he saw it in a test. In texting. Yeah, no, I believe him because apparently, didn't like James Gunn, Peter Safran, they saw it and they had sent notes to Todd Phillips and he completely rejected that. And Todd Phillips has even like adamantly said like this has nothing to do with DC at all. Which again, I really hate that. You know, I don't like when a director comes in as adapting something and has such disdain for the source material. That to me is utterly fucking bizarre. That just really irks me. It just shows like, all right, well, you really just don't care. So why should I give you the benefit of the doubt? So yeah, it just shows how moronic Todd Phillips is. Oh man, nothing can be worse than Flash. Flash is pretty bad. Let's see. In the Immortal Worlds of GTA, here we go again. Shit, here we go again. It ain't no Deadpool. Certainly not. When you have the new head of DC having misgivings about the film and your own lead is saying, it's horrible. Right. Yeah, because people did like the lip reading with Joaquin Phoenix apparently at one of the film's premieres or something, red carpet thing. Very funny. So it was just a why. It was just a why. It's like, why? Why is it the way this is? Movie's scheduled to be released on digital October 29th. Wow. There you go. Yep. From the sounds of people who have seen it, the problem with Joker 2 is less that it tried something different and more the way in which it went about doing something different. The way in which it went about it. I mean, could the musical thing have worked? Sure. The biggest issue I have with the music in the movie is that it serves no purpose when it comes to furthering the characters and the plot. Like, again, whether you like musicals or not, like, even the musicals that I've really enjoyed, like, the music itself, like, furthers the story and develops the characters. It's relevant to what's happening. If you were to remove the music from the musicals, then it'd be like, what the hell is happening? Like, what's going on? You'd be confused because there'd be huge chunks missing. But if you removed all the music from Joker, Folie à Deux, it'd be like, oh, it's like as if nothing. It's a distracting thing in the movie. It's completely unnecessary. People breaking the song in the middle of goddamn conversations. It serves no point. And that's, again, and the fact that it's like all cover songs, it's like, it just feels like there wasn't even effort put into it. So yeah, you're right. Callie, good to see you, Callie. Hope you're doing very well. Good to see you. Standalone films? Sure. Anything of Joker anytime soon? No. Yeah, I think, it's going to be the Joker still is like just one of the most populated. The Joker is one of the most popular characters of all time. One of the most popular villains of all time. So, we'll always get more Joker stuff. But yeah, in terms of like a live action Joker appearance, maybe not for a little while. Certainly like a Joker standalone. It ain't going to happen for a long time. Yeah. Because around the film, 100% more interesting than the actual. 100%. No, it's been funny. It's been fascinating to follow. Yeah, more than the movie. I've gotten more enjoyment just reviewing it and talking about it with you guys in detail, obviously, and making fun of it and just seeing the disaster and the catastrophe and the debacle that it obviously is. Infinitely more fun. Yeah, talking about it than actually watching it. Because it's such a slog watching it. This is also just further proof that a model where every movie you make has to gross almost $500 million just to break even, true, is not only unsustainable, but just fundamentally broken to begin with. Yes, agreed. If everything has to be the greatest bullseye ever and not just a decent hit, that's a big problem. 100%. Well, and that's like case in point. Most recently, this past weekend. And again, whether you like the movie or the franchise or, Terrifier 3, it cost $2 million to make. It made nearly $20 million this weekend. It's a huge fucking hit, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's this weird mindset. It's obviously it's present in the Hollywood system, but even like people online, like you need to have all these movies be incredibly expensive. They need to gross like $1 billion worldwide to be a success. That's not a good measurement of success. You can make something that very inexpensive and make quite a tidy sum, a nice profit, and have it be in comparison, a huge success. Once you make it for cheap. So, yeah, agreed. Even if Backer wasn't the greatest thing ever, by the way, movies shouldn't have to be the greatest thing ever to simply get released. Oh, agreed. Their Bad Boys movie show they know how to make a visually exciting movie. Yeah, I don't believe that Backer was supposedly this unreleasable film. I don't believe that at all. It doesn't make any sense. Especially when we saw what they ended up releasing after canceling it. So I was like, I can't believe, I don't believe them. They did it as a tax write-off. Oh, I guess the joke was on Warner Bros. Yes, they just didn't get it. 4K, good to have you here, 4K. Chris, my bro told me the ending to Joker 2, and I wish he did not. But I was like, yeah, I had a feeling that was going to, the ending. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen the film, of course. But it's very frustrating. It's going to piss a lot of people off. Again, if you loved Joker or if you hated Joker, the ending of this movie is going to piss you off. It unites both sides. The complete opposite of the spectrums are both united in their dislike of this sequel, which I think is very amusing. No, me too. Listen, I love the Joker. As you guys know, he's my favorite Batman villain. This is one of my favorite, villains. I love the DCAU, Mark Hamill Joker. Heath Ledger fucking knocked out the park. Yeah, right. Jack Nicholson. Great. Wonderful. Great stuff. But yeah, in terms of like upcoming Batman content or content that's like centered on Gotham, I want to explore different villains right now. I think we all do. Like I've said for the longest time for the Batman Part 2, I'm really looking forward to, well, obviously what Matt Reeves and company are going to do. And it's going to be set in winter, which I think is really cool. But like as I said before, like what I personally want, I want to see Batman go up against the Mad Hatter. I want to see him go against the Court of Owls. Or like there's so many other villains he can do. So many other villains that they haven't adapted theatrically yet that they could go. Or maybe villains that weren't adapted well theatrically. Like, of course, you can make an argument. The Riddler wasn't exactly great in Batman Forever, what they did with him. And made as somewhat fun Jim Carrey's performance was, but I like what they ended up doing with Paul Dano's Riddler. Actually, I wanted more of him in the movie. So but what I'm saying is, yes, I want more Batman content. Obviously, everyone loves Batman, but explore the rest of his rogues gallery. It doesn't always have to be the same villains over and over and over again. It doesn't have to be the Joker over again. So I hope that's what they end up doing. Let's see. Okay. Also, Chris, you playing Manhunt today? You got Manhunt. Oh, do I? Oh, did I forget to change it? Oh, whoops. I meant to change that to just chatting. I will be playing Manhunt this week. I was playing it this past Friday. And that's when I'll probably play it again. Today, I'm going to actually be playing a little bit of Resident Evil Code Veronica. We're going to jump into that in just a bit. I'm just going to be doing my review for The Legend of Vox Machina Season 3. But I just want to cover some news stories. Figured it'd be fun to talk about. But I will be playing some Manhunt. If you actually want to see some of my Manhunt gameplay 4K, it's up on my Chris J. Herman Games channel. One of several YouTube channels that I have. This is just all gameplay-centric stuff, and that's why I've been uploading a lot of my recent gameplay. So Manhunt, Still Wakes the Deep, Dredge, Sucker for Love, Star Wars Dark Forces, a lot of stuff. I've been just playing a lot of older games. Although I will be playing some newer titles too, chat. This month, I can't believe it. I thought the game would just be like the worst thing ever because it's Bloober Team. I thought they would bloob it. But I will be playing Silent Hill 2 Remake this month. I'm actually looking forward to it since everyone's been praising the game. So, but yeah, at some point I will be playing more Manhunt this week. Let's see. But please think of the shareholders, Chris. I know, those poor shareholders. Travelers, you could make it cheap and have a good enough story. 100%. That's intriguing enough that you might be able to make another one, then another one because you have characters. So yeah. I would love it if this, like, I just hope this doesn't deter Warner Brothers from making more standalone, DC content. I think that'd be really cool. Like, I would love to see. I mean, there's so many characters you can do. I don't know. You pick one out of a hat. Make a movie for $50 million. See how that does, right? Oh, well. Oh, yeah, Mr. Crockett, then that new Hulu movie. Yeah, that looked pretty fun. And thank you, Austin, for mentioning that, too. Thank you for the Timothy's as well. Court of Owls would be a good dream country. Yeah, in terms of, like, recent, like Batman villains organizations, I really love the Court of Owls. I think that's a fabulous modern creation. So, yeah, if they want to do Court of Owls, I feel like it would fit so well within Matt Reeves' Batman world. But, we'll see. Hoping for the best. Oh, Clayface is another one. Yeah, I mean, I guess they can go in so many different directions with Clayface. I definitely want Clayface. I think Clayface would be great. I wonder to what degree, like, Matt Reeves' how fantastical Matt Reeves' Batman would be. I mean, they could do the more, like, serial killer Clayface. So, like, but the Clay Monster is the one that people, like, know the most and appreciate and love the most. So, I mean, I could see that maybe in James Gunn's DCU. I mean, but yes, I would love Clayface, no doubt. In whatever iteration of Batman, we need Clayface because you can have so much fun with that.